Hey guys, Andrea Olson here with Go Diaper-Free. I'm going to record podcast episode 124 today, which is how to balance bare bum time with diaper-free time. Let's record. Welcome to the Go Diaper-Free podcast, where we're all about helping you stop depending on diapers as early as birth. I'm your host, Andrea Olson, author and mom of 5 babies, all EC'd from birth, all out of diapers by walking. This is episode 124. How do I balance bare bum time and diaper-free time, and why does it matter? So you can read the written version of today's show over at godiaperfree.com/124, where I will also link to everything I mentioned in today's episode, and I will be replying to comments there, so come on by when you're finished if you have any questions or comments. We have kind of a 2-part series here, so this week, episode 124, is going to be rather brief, and then 125 next week we're going to go a little bit deeper into this topic and tell you how to keep your kid from peeing on the floor whenever, wherever. So these are related, so hopefully you enjoy both of these, and together they will be even more helpful for you. So when doing elimination communication with your baby, what we call EC, how much bare bum time, how much naked time, do you allow? And how much diaper-free time that's time without a diaper, where you have some kind of a backup like clothing or underwear or something. How much of that do you do? And does any of this even matter? And yes, the answer is yes, it does. Today I am answering a question from multiple mamas in our audience who wonder how to balance these two very important parts of infant potty training, bare bum and diaper-free time. And yes, both of them are very, very important to EC. They each have a time and a place. And a little PS, I will continue this conversation like I just mentioned by addressing how to get your baby to stop peeing on the floor in next week's post. Because when we do naked time or diaper-free time, sometimes that happens. So here's the question from Heather B. in Ontario, Canada. How do I strike a balance between bare bum time and diaper-free time, and why does it matter? Which happens to be the name of this episode. So my answer, what a succinct, am I saying that right? Succinct, and important question, Heather. I am so thrilled that you've asked this. I know a lot of other people listening have this on their mind as well. You see, most parents who've done EC based on past publications, in other words, things other than my book in particular, and other advice, and just kind of winging it off of information from the internet, have ended up with a problem. Baby feels free to pee on the floor whenever and wherever, and makes that into a very hard to break habit. So it kind of feels like you're not doing EC, you're just making a giant mess. And then Jessie in Kenya asked a similar question that falls into this category. Yes, I do have a question about diaper-free time. I guess it helps them learn faster to feel the effect of it when they go. But does it not kind of train them that it is okay to go on the floor when you miss getting them to the potty in time? I've been doing more diaper-free time with my baby lately, but this question is always in the back of my mind. Love, Jessie. Thank you, because I think a lot of you listening right now are probably nodding your heads. Yes, me too. And first of all, I addressed it in my book, Go Diaper-Free, that it only teaches them cause and effect for the first few minutes or hours. Like, this is the first time they're feeling that. When I feel this pressure in my stomach, this stuff comes out, if they've been diapered only. Depending on how long your baby or toddler has been diapered, we do a few minutes, a few hours, and that's about it. After that, it teaches them to pee on the floor. That's definitely correct, which is exactly what Jessie intuited in her question. So many of the resources out there, if you do random internet searching or Facebook group trolling, you'll find that they suggest that diaper-free time equals naked time and encourage you to do it all the time. So diaper-free time means naked time, and you got to do it all the time. That might be what advice you're kind of gleaning from these groups. I actually thought similarly as well until I saw all the complaints and calls for help in my private EC support forum when I started it like 10 years ago. There is a very big problem doing this. And ever since then, I've been working with people to solve that problem. And that's what today and next week's episodes are all about. It does matter, and you can strike a balance between the two. So how do you do that, Andrea? How do you strike a balance, and why does it matter? Okay, super duper basically, you only use naked time to gather information, like natural timing, how often do they go, or signals, do they have any signals? And then use a diaper backup or clothing always until you might need more information. And this is unless your baby, and we'll cover this next week, unless your baby does not pee on the floor when they're naked and they actually take themselves to the potty. Obviously, that's an exception. You wouldn't even be listening to this episode if that were you. But for those of you who are like, naked or diaper-free time, what is this called? I don't know what to do. Using, and I didn't mean to say a diaper backup, it's actually using a backup like training pants or something. And not a pull-up because that's a diaper, but like tiny trainers, tiny undies. I sell all those over at tinyundies.com, by the way, that are very small, 6 months and up. But you're using something other than having them naked, but you're not using an actual diaper. So diaper-free time is time without an actual diaper, but it's not necessarily naked time. Okay, are we clear on that? I know it's a little confusing, but you got naked time to gather information because you got to see it to write it down sometimes. Although you can use trainers, blue or purple, they definitely show that show the pee immediately, so you can gather info. Generally, we use naked time to get information, and then after we've gotten that information, and until we need more information, we can do diaper-free time with clothing, like just pants or undies or trainers or something like that. So this is time without an actual diaper, but not necessarily naked. To further expound about why it matters and how to balance it, I just want you to know that I actually recently updated and recorded a podcast version of a blog post on this. And instead of further answering your question here and repeating this advice, it's already on that episode that's coming next week. I'm going to post a detailed answer next week and air it on the podcast as well. So that's already set and updated and ready to go. So in next week's show, you'll find out how to further balance this. Free from diaper time, diaper-free time, and naked time. How do we balance this? And you'll read a whole bunch or listen to or view a whole bunch of easy to understand info on why it matters. But for right now, I want you to know there is a difference, and it is definitely important to balance the two. And a little preview, it's like, if you're doing so much naked time that your baby is learning this habit of peeing on the floor, or you're just mildly worried about it, that means it's too much. That means you need to switch to diaper-free time with a clothing backup of some sort, time without an actual diaper. Okay, so that's step one. That's what I wanted to share with you today. Yes, it matters very much. Diaper-free time must be done responsibly. Next week, I'm also going to share an excerpt of my book, which has the first and only explanation of why naked time versus diaper-free time matters, how to prevent your baby from learning to pee on the floor by not overdoing naked time, like I just said, and how to, and this is great, how to fix this problem if it's already happening to you. So we will cover that next week, but for now, I just want you guys to know that you use naked time to gather information. Use diaper-free time to give your baby a break from using the diaper and to help them not become dependent on going in a diaper throughout the day, a set time every week, whatever your preference is, to give them that diaper-free time. I suggest a half hour to 2 hours of it a day so that they get that experience. And a lot of babies, it's just the parent holding them back. Like they're ready to be in undies even at 12 months in some cases. So, and most cases actually, earlier than you think. So having that diaper-free time and undies and trainers and or just pants is super valuable. But if you do all that time with them just running around naked, there's going to be pee on your floor. So we're going to talk about that next time. All right. So again, there is no other EC resource that actually discerns between these two things, naked and diaper-free time. I've examined the difference through the folks on my private forum for the last 10 years and through my own research. And I've made it really easy to prevent negative habits resulting from this lack of discernment between these two things. And I've made it really easy to correct any damage already done because guess what? Our babies, like just how when they fall, their boo-boos go away pretty quickly. I always like to joke that my babies are made of rubber. Gosh, I have 5 of them and they do the darndest things. And you're like, if I did that to my body, I would probably have a broken bone. Same thing with potty learning and all that stuff. They're really resilient and the time passes so fast. So let's not overthink it, and we can easily correct course and change course towards the right path. And, if you've got pee on the floor, just join me next week, okay? I'll see you then, and we'll talk about how to prevent peeing on the floor through too much naked time. Thanks for your question, Heather. And it's a really important one, and now I want to hear from you guys who are listening and watching and reading. Do you practice bare bum naked time with your baby or diaper-free time? How much of it are you doing? Or do you practice a combination of the two? Do you have thoughts on all of this? Do you have questions? Comment comment over there at godiaperfree.com/124. And again, feel free to add questions. We love answering your questions. I'm on there all the time. And I also like to post the questions there in the comments because it helps people who are randomly Googling for EC information to easily find, oh my gosh, Sarah or McKinney also have the exact same question as me. And in the comments, they'll be able to see what our answers are for you guys. So I'll see you over there. Until next time, happy pottying. I'm Andrea Olson, and you've been listening to the Go Diaper Free podcast at godiaperfree.com. And I'll see you next time with the follow-up. Bye. Bye, as if we're talking on the phone or something. I'm so old school. All right. Please comment below if you have any questions about this. Do you do naked time? Do you do diaper-free time with your baby? How much do you do? Are you worried that you're doing too much? Which, by the way, if you're worried about it, maybe you are. Who knows? But if you ask, we can help you. And hit the bell and subscribe, and I'll let you know when the next video is up. Bye.